In 1965, a local seaman, Keith Lalou, opened a museum at 95 Fletcher Road, Peterhead, collecting all things maritime. Keith was passionate about Australian shipping and focused on all things related to ships in Australia. Keith donated the museum to the Port Adelaide Historical Society in 2003, and while we have maintained his collection, we have developed the museum with a broader Port Adelaide social history focus.
Keith Lalou, he was a fairly strong unionist and seaman. It was really his passion to preserve anything to do with the sea. So in 2003, he gave it to the Port Adelaide Historical Society. In 1972, the society was formed, and when we were offered this place in 2003, that was a great opportunity for the society to share with the public. Of course, we're open every Sunday and we get all sorts of people, but we also have events here. We have meetings every month, so we have all sorts of activities. We've got at least 10,000 photographs. We've got a gun that was here to make sure the Russians didn't get up the Port River. One of the big exhibits is the Tancred. The Tancred was built by women in Texas during the war. It salvaged several naval craft. At that point it was with the Royal Navy. It was then transferred to Port Adelaide. It came to Port Adelaide. It saw some service for a few years. Another exhibit we have is the top part of the Fairlie. So they put a new engine in. The problem with that is the water came up over the bow. So they raised the forecastle. That meant you couldn't see to steer it because the steering position was at the stern at the back. So they built a wooden wheelhouse on top. When it went to war, it was patrolling outside Sydney Harbour, and one of the midget Japanese submarines scraped the bottom of it. When it came back, they built the two steel boxes because the captain had to be next to the wheelhouse. The Golden Jubilee, there was money around to turn it into a sail training vessel. Those cabins were cut off, and Keith Lalou turned up with a truck, and before it hit the wharf, it was on his truck. I think it's really important to know about what's gone on in the past. Very important to the well-being of the community that they understand the history, what's gone on before in their area.